Hello everybody, welcome back to Red Tool House. Today we are going to look at building some sort of accommodation for our off-grid camp for winter showering. So come along if you want to see how we're going to piece this together. So if you've been following the channel for a while, you know we're building an off-grid camp up in the mountains of West Virginia, about 4 hours away from where we are. And currently we have our cabin that we've built out, weathered in. Just recently got the loft all insulated and wired, so we're weathered in for winter. But the one issue we have is showering while we're up there. We have an off-grid outdoor shower that uses a Camp Lux system to heat the water. All that works fine. You've seen that before. I can obviously link to videos as well. But the problem is when we go up there and it's 16 degrees, there's just something that doesn't seem appealing about showering outdoors in 16-degree weather. So what I'm starting with, I went to my local feed store and I bought this. This is a 40-gallon, I believe. Is it? Yeah. So a 40-gallon watering tank, and you can see by the size that it is something that would be quite accommodating for a shower. So I could obviously stand here, get all soapy, do all my stuff, and no problems there. Shouldn't have any water spilling out on the sides as long as I've got a curtain in place. Now the one thing I'm going to do a little differently, simply because I want this to be portable and I don't necessarily want to make this a one-trick pony on this tub, is I'm not going to put a drain in it. And you may think, well, where's the water going to go? Well, after we're done showering, then we can take our pump, just pump the water out. And where I'm going to set the shower, I'll be redneck and we'll just pump the water out the window there. So this is easy. This is a simple fix. This is a $60 purchase. Bang, there's our tub, our water collection. So what I'm going to do to provide cascading water, of course, is continue to use our Camp Lux system. Well, what we need to do, of course, is have something to stand that on, because it's best when it hangs. It's burning propane, so it needs to have clear area up top to vent. So really what I'm going to work on today is see if I can take some conduit using my conduit pipe bender and bend a similar oval, that shape that we have here, to represent a shower curtain rod. I think that's actually going to work. Obviously a 10-foot piece of conduit was not enough, so I've got some extra scrap. I will cut a little piece off and use some of my connectors to put that together. And I think they'll still work. Obviously the shower curtain will hang on hooks. It'll slide around, so I gotta, however I suspend this, I gotta make sure it doesn't impede my hooks. All right, so that bent up pretty good. I wish I would have, instead of kind of finagling that first bend, I wish I would have gone ahead and committed to the full 45-degree bend, or 90-degree bend, I believe that is, and I could have just straightened it back out, because you can look at my corners. My first corner is not as pretty. So it's got more of a sweeping arc than these guys do. But we're not building for sex appeal, right? Okay, so the next big question is, how do I suspend that? Don't know why I insist on working down in the valley in the cold shade. There's plenty of sunlight up here still. So I had to come up and get tools anyway. I thought, well, let's just go ahead and take everything up to the house. So let's put together here on the driveway where I've got some flat surface, and that'll help me mock this up quicker. All right, so that little prototype actually is going to work pretty well. It's at 6 feet. I thought I want to max out there just in case if we can't center directly under the peak of the loft and we're off to one side, then it's not a deal killer. But I need to get the boss out here before I try to figure out where to set the curtain rod or the shower curtain rod, because she's gonna be the final say in that, whether it's acceptable or not. Let's see if she'll come out and demo. All right, so I surprised the boss. She was actually working on dinner, so she's appreciate you coming out. Got a little couple things going on right now. All right, real quick. Here's what we're gonna do. So imagine this, if you will, in our loft.
Playing football?
Yeah, playing football. Hop in the shower, if you would. Now, if you were wanting the typical privacy that you would like for a shower curtain, at what height would it need to be? Can we go here?
No.
Can we go here? Would you prefer here? You got to remember the shower head's got to mount somewhere on that thing.
On here? That's as tall as we can go?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like it as tall as it could go with the shower head.
All right, so I think I can get away with doing it right there at that knot.
Yep.
All right, that's all I needed. Thank you, ma'am.
Shirley?
Call me Shirley. The boss has spoken, no? Oh, come on, fat boy. All right, so we've got the height established with the boss there. So now I just got to figure out how to keep it hanging out. And I actually have a plan that I think's pretty daggone genius. I dare say Wile E. Coyote genius here, but we'll see if it'll work. It involves, well, I'll just show you. So close. So I was able to take this 1/2-inch T, take my ring apart here at my coupler, and beat it around this turn. That was my less aggressive turn, so I'm kind of glad I had that one, because there was no way it was making the other ones. So it's kind of hanging on there loose. And then mounted this bolt. And I believe, if I did this right, I could take this piece of conduit that is 4 feet long, set it over the hole, and drop it down like yay-da-hoo. Aw, snap. Oh man. I think we in business now. That's pretty daggone cool, if I say so myself. Not that I'm prideful or anything. So let me do a test drive here. So yeah, so nobody will see my breasts. That'll be good. No, just like I do in most hotels, I'll just squat down, or even do Navy style. So take a shower this way, and obviously stay below the shower curtain. Now, any Bush League YouTube channel would stop right here and say, yeah, I think this is going to work. We're not going to do that. Even though the shower is all the way up at camp 4 hours away, and we're not due to go up there for another 30 days, I'm not going to end the video here. I want to actually show it in action. And obviously, we'll still keep this PG, but I want to show it in action and be able to determine what's going to work or not. Right, up here at camp, we want to give this shower a test. So we're going to use a new solar generator that the company Graycell sent me to try out. Graycell Power Station. This is the T1000. I was a little hesitant to use something named the T1000 after watching Terminator. But no, I like this system. I gave this system to my dad. I wanted him to test it as well. So he's had it for a while, and he's really been happy with how it's worked out. And then he brought it up to camp to utilize it. But the thing I like about it, for a 1,000 watt unit, it's extremely light. In fact, I think it's only 8 kilograms. I don't know what that translates to pounds. Let's see if it says here. No, it doesn't. So for all of you you people that can do both, just convert that. Tell me what that is. But it feels like it's maybe 10, 15 pounds at most. Has a lot of nice features you'd expect on a 1,000 watt unit. Has DC output for car cigarette, what I call cigarette lighter, dating myself, and then the two 12 volt pins. Has 3 USB 3.0s, and of course a USB-C, 2 AC outlets. And what I like about this, the input charge, it has 2 options. So it has the photovoltaic plugs, but those are the more common plugs. Some of these systems use their proprietary pins, which are a little aggravating because then you have to buy the adapter. But these are the standards. I've found these plugs available on Amazon and work really well with photovoltaic. And of course the standard DC input that you'd have from the charger it comes with. So you plug it into AC, has a converter, and it's DC charge. Also has the 10 watt wireless charger there on top for your phone or other wireless charging devices. Also has a little security light, safety light there on the side as well. I've really been impressed with this because we've been running the water pump and the shower pump in the cabin since we've been up here for these last 4 days. And I believe we have yet to charge it. And right now it's showing, well, it's still showing 100%. So we really haven't drawn it down much at all. Now, the whole point in doing this was if we were coming up in December, January, we expected it to be, super cold. We are in high elevations, and I assumed that it would be a cold winter. I wasn't expecting that we'd have almost 70 degrees. In fact, I'm about ready to take my coat off. But if you look over here as evidence that we are in the mountains, there's snow over on the shady spot. But we had that crazy cold snap that everybody experienced. And now it's super warm. So actually we could be using the outside shower with no issue. But where's the fun in that, right? I want to get this all put together. We're going to pretend like it's cold so we can see if I was really clever or not in putting this together. So let's get it all drug out and get it set up.
You can go in and put that tin.
It can be washed out though.
I know, we got it dirty on the way up. Liam, I'm going to need you to hand me the drill over there on the table. Alright, so obviously the next concern, if it was really cold, we didn't want to go outside and use the Johnny house because it's a flushing toilet and it would be frozen. So, for the sake of composting, just created this little adapter. The bucket with the sawdust, of course, can go underneath. So you can double up if you want to, shower and take care of business, or obviously just do one or the other. So this will work well. Kelly's getting our shower curtains put together, so we'll have some privacy and see how that goes. Well, how are you going to get in? Show us how you get in.
Just like this. Push this aside.
Well, I can't see it from this side. This is where the camera
You
is.
can do it from that side.
Very nice.
The commode there.
No.
No.
The toilet seat comes out when you're showering.
That's just at nighttime.
Right. It's an
Emergency.
accessory. Battery's not included.
Okay.
All right, so this takes care of the non-moving parts. So when it comes to actual water, how are we going to get water here and get it out? And I think I may have detailed that already. It's been weeks since I shot the front of this video. But I brought jugs and I brought a diaphragm pump that will pump water. It has a pressure switch built into it. And here in a second, I'm going to get that set up and show you how that works. All right, so the diaphragm pump I got was actually, it was one of the cheapest ones on Amazon. That wasn't my purpose in buying it, but it was one of the most highly rated. So go figure. So it's just a little simple 12-volt pump. And like I said, I got 2 of these. And it has a pressure cutoff. I think the default pressure cutoff is 88 pounds. But obviously something you can't submerge. But inlet, outlet, power wire, and all I did was is solder and splice to a cable that has a 12-volt pin that's going to go into our power supply, and that's how we'll power it. So since it has a pressure switch, just like a Camplux pump, when you turn off the shower head, it should build up pressure and shut the pump off. At least that's what it's supposed to. So we're going to hook up the hose here. The big question is, this only has 5 feet of head, so it'll only lift water 5 feet. And I really want to draw from our big 30-gallon tank that we have set up down here, which I'm going to feature that in another video. And that way I'm not carrying water upstairs. But I have to carry water upstairs, I will, but we'll see. All right, so we decided to go ahead and test to see if this pump's going to have enough lift to get it up there. All right, so Dad's upstairs with the Camplux. He's going to take the hose and stick it out the window so we can obviously test without having water go everywhere. And so to power this, we're using Dad's. This is Dad's. I got this for Dad. This is a Gray Cell T1000. It's a solar battery charger. It's 1,000 watts, and we've been impressed with it so far. In fact, we spec the pins for this specific the 12-volt pins that we need. We spec them based on the size and the specs for this Gray Cell, so it fits nicely in there. So with just 12 volt, we can run this pump, and has just very minimal draw. Dad, just yell when you're ready. You ready?
See if we see water coming down.
Yeah, we should see water come out the window here. Drawing some. Come on, baby, you can do it. I lifted the jug up. All right, so brought another jug in here, realizing 5 feet of head lift. That's a little under advertised. So when I lifted the jug up to about right here, which was about 3 feet of vertical lift, it worked fine. And so I'm not sure if lift incorporates the distance from the water source to the pump or the entire distance. So from the water source to the pump to the top of the shower head. If it's that minimal, 5 feet, then this is going to be a bit of an issue. But when I lifted it up here, it seemed to run, and Dad saw it shoot out of the shower head. So plan B was to carry the 5-gallon totes of water up to the second floor to have it right there by the shower. So that's what we'll have to do. Just take all this down and move it up there. All right, for continuity's sake, last night we gave up on the shower upstairs, and the reason why we just couldn't get it the leaks to stop. In fact, we got most of them mitigated, and then we had a terrible accident. So for the sake of good reporting, I'm going to report to the eyewitnesses. So ma'am, could you tell me what happened when you were in the shower?
I almost fell out of it onto somebody else's bed.
And what was the situation with the shower head? Did you experience a technical failure there?
It exploded and water went everywhere.
Oh, okay. Does that explain the current condition you're in right now?
Yes. Got my hair all wet and everything. I look like
I got wet too.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the show.
Yeah, so the technical operator, could you explain from your perspective, sir, what happened?
I was standby for troubleshooting, and all of a sudden, water was everywhere.
so I'm going to show you here in a second, and Mom's going to kill me for obviously videoing her while she doesn't have her hair combed. But I'll show you, I don't know why I'm holding the hammer still, but I'll show you here in a second the shower head. It literally blew the shower head components apart, and I'll explain why.
but I did get my shower.
Yeah, Mom did get her shower after all. So what happened here, you can see here's our Camp Lux shower head that we've been using for a couple years now. And that was the on-off switch. That's what would stop the flow of water. Well, that's what happened to Mom. It absolutely exploded. I mean, pieces went everywhere. So it shattered. And the reason why are these little pumps, these little diaphragm pumps I have, they're set for PSI of up to 85 pounds before they cut off. So even before I ran that one, I turned that one way down, but they don't give you any gradients. They don't tell you how many turns you need to turn it down to a certain pressure. So I gave it a full quarter or a full turn thinking that would be enough, but evidently it wasn't. So I'm going to take the pump back to the house. When I get back to the house, I'm going to put my pressure gauge on it and just see how to dial it in, because I guarantee you the Camp Lux pump that we use all the time outside doesn't have that much pressure. But fortunately, we're just, it's so warm that we're reverting back to our outdoor shower situation. Our pump is still intact and all that. So we're going to do that. In fact, Liam's going and then I'm next. Well, so despite the indoor shower kind of being a failure as far as leaks go and blowing apart our shower head, the issue we didn't have was getting power to our pump. And appreciate Graycell for sending us this solar generator to be able to give that a try. All right, so we're back home now, and I want, out of morbid curiosity, I just want to test the pressure. So I got a pressure gauge here that I had in my toolbox, and I'm going to put it on this fitting for this pump and just see what kind of reading we get. So it's kicking back on when it hits 60, drops down to 60, but it looks like the pressure valve is, or the pressure gauge is bouncing so much, it's 90 to 100. So there's probably the reason why I'm blowing my shower head apart. So let's see if we can make an adjustment there. All right, so a quarter turn dropped it down to 40 or 55. I don't think she's going to go any lower than 45 as the cutoff, or the cut on. Holy moly. If you have one of those projects just absolutely kick your butt, well, this is one of them. All right. So having to stand on one leg and hold everything, I got it to work. I got some hot water coming out. Obviously the Camp Lux needs to be mounted vertically because it doesn't like, obviously, firing the combustion chamber on the side. But I don't have any leaks there, so that's good. The one speed coupler down here, the one from Camp Lux, that's not the big a deal because it'll lay in the tub. It drips a little bit, but it'll lay in the tub when we shower. So we're not going to camp for a while, but somewhere on down the road, if we go up there, I'll do a video of it. But I think I've got it taken care of, so I can drain it, put it in storage, and be ready to take it back up when we go. Well, I'm going to call that good. If you guys have made it this far, then you're clearly a sadist and you just want to see people struggle. No, really, I appreciate everybody watching. Y'all take care.